Thanks, Sean. Here is the BP Ultimate Grid for race number 1 for the NZV8's Kane Scott and John McIntyre lineup off the front row. Jason Bargwanna and Paul Manuel from row number 2.
Then the action heats up here. We've got Craig Baird and Scott McLaughlin, once again one of the finds of the championship. Andy Booth and the other find of the championship, young Martin Short.
Then we go back to John Penny alongside Angus Fogg. Angus Fogg disappointed after that qualifying effort. Matt Lockwood lines up next, and another disappointment, Tim Edgell. He is in behind.
Then have the two Commodores of Nick Ross and Andrew Anderson. Dean Perkins coming back to the championship, and of course next door to him, Simon Richards.
David Hopper lines up alongside the newly married Christina Orr West, and we go back to Andy Knight and Eddie Bell, and completing the grid lineup, Hayden McKenzie in the Albany Toyota Ford Falcon. Well, this championship is just too close to call. With 2 rounds left to go, 3 races here at Taupo Motorsport Park this weekend. Look at that front row, Kane Scott with the eyes on, a stunning qualifying lap, and he's got 4 poles this summer. Mark, he's been so impressive. He's done what John McIntyre's been doing to everyone else for the last couple of seasons.
Right, and in terms of the championship, this is it. You'll see the Fujitsu car there on the right-hand side. Johnny Mack, 4th in the championship at the moment, right next door to him. Kane Scott, I don't think he's in the preferred line for the start, Jamie. The reason being the inside is very dirty. These cars have been 40 kilometres an hour in first gear. They will wheel spin at the best of time. Look for something to happen there. Of course, Angus Fogg, like he said Craig Baird's only 20 metres in front of him. He's in the best frame of mind I've seen him so far, given that they are outside of the top 10 in qualifying. Craig Baird there, of course, in row 3. So this is where the championship's on. They've got to get through 1, 2 and 3. Then it's all going to happen.
We are ready to go racing at Taupo, round 6 of the BNTV8s. The points leader Angus Fogg from grid position 10, 37 points ahead of Craig Baird as they fan out across the racetrack. Kane Scott with a little advantage down into turn number 1 as we go back on board with Scott McLaughlin. It's busy down, 1 already around.
Yeah, 1's already around. I think that, there's that Martin Short in there. Yes,
Martin Short.
Yeah. So right in the action, we knew that was going to happen. 2, 3 and 4 can cause just as much excitement. So we'll see everybody filtering through there.
That was grid position 8. Some damage to the left side window of the super cheap Holden there of Scott McLaughlin. So he obviously got some contact somewhere along the way, but how there wasn't any more, because
now basically Angus Fogg and all this. I'm sorry, Jamie, but I haven't seen Angus Fogg anywhere. He's there. Craig Baird has dropped right back as well. He's dropped 4 or 5 positions going into there. So
there's Anderson up the inside of Simon Richards.
There's Craig Baird there. Andy Booth's got in front of him. Angus Fogg right back. I wonder what it said.
No, there he is there. That was Dean Perkins going through back a shot. So Foggy's actually up into the 4th position. That's a massive gain off the race start.
Yeah, there you go. That was just that train of thought. He was so relaxed in the front of it at the beginning of this race. So that's paid dividends for him. So the guy that's back with him in the championship is right back. But the guys 3rd and 4th at the moment, 1st and 2nd. They'll be looking to make a clean set of heels, get away from the rest of the field, and take the battle to each other.
John Penny was side by side with Andy Booth on board with Scott McLaughlin. So he's been delayed. Craig Baird's been delayed. So Baird, that was a 3rd row. So it maybe happened up a little bit ahead of Martin Short, who started from grid position 8. So obviously there were some issues going down into 1, and that's sort of top 3rd of the field as Kane Scott will lead lap number 1 from John McIntyre. 3rd and 4th in the points, 1 and 2 in the race. Jason Bargwanna drops a wheel off the exit of the final corner. He's in the 3rd position in the Retco Ford. Then Foggy, what a start from grid position 10 to be 4th at the end of lap number 1.
And that's the thing about it, Jamie. You can come into turn 1 there, right around the outside. Here we go. Look, 4 or 5 car lengths abreast.
Here's the peak anti-freeze replay of Martin Short's.
Okay, so John Penny was on the inside. Martin Short got sideways at some stage, probably got a bit of a helping hand from behind him, got in the back of Craig Baird. So here we go.
This is the front-on shot. So certainly now, where was Craig Baird and all that? I think he was to the inside. Where has he been delayed? The rest of the field did a magnificent job to avoid really getting into Martin Short any more than they did.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems. You know, you got 4 or 5 cars wide going into 1 corner. At the end of the day, there's 1 racing line. 5 into 1 doesn't work out. But here we go. The Commodore Cup is at the moment being led by Paul Manuel, who's in 5th place. Then we go back to Scott McLaughlin and our good mate Andy Booth.
Yeah, Booth is just ahead of that. But John Penny's got ahead of Craig Baird. So Craig Baird currently scored in, the 8th position. As Angus Fogg has done really well out of this race start, goes to work on Jason Bargwanna.
He's got an absolute flyer coming off the corner there. He's just going to pull out of this battle of Jason Bargwanna. At the moment, he's just tucked in, getting as much draft. He's that thing of Jason Bargwanna's got some boogie in a straight line. I actually thought Angus had a run on him there, but nothing's come of it at all.
Paul Manuel staying there right there with him with the Oryx Holden. John Penny brewing a fuel pump problem in the top 10 shootout, is the word that we got overnight, Mark.
It is, yeah, saying it's the first time he's been in the top 10, and of course this is his home circuit, so he's looking for big things. Didn't come of it. So here we're looking at the back of Scott McLaughlin's car, looking back on Andy Booth. Like you say, you can see the damage hanging off the side of the passenger's door.
So Timmy Edgell up into the 10th position. He was a very, very disappointed young man after qualifying, having won the previous round at Manfield. Just they got no new tyre gain and made a slight error with the track conditions with their tyre pressures for qualifying.
There you go, and Angus is all over Jason Bargwanna, but if there's one man that can make a car very wide, it's the man in the number 12 car, Jason Bargwanna, of course, a supercar regular over in Australia there, so if anybody can make life difficult for Angus, it will be him.
Yeah, Bargwanna setting a new track record at Abu Dhabi for the BOC Gases team, subbing for Jason Richards, who continues to be on the improve, so that's great news. Fogg 4th, Paul Manuel in 5th, the first of the Holdens. John Penny, outstanding start, 6th. Craig Bed 7th. McLaughlin, Booth, Edgell, Andy Anderson with a great start. Anderson from grid 14. He's made up some ground in the early laps as well. Obviously managed to avoid any of that, what was going on.
Look at the damage on the side of that super cheap car is also, if you look at the car in front of him.
Craig Beard, I thought he had a similar amount of damage to the left-hand door.
Yeah, there you go. Look, that's how you get air conditioning on one of these NZV8s. So that used to be a window, no longer. Here's Craig Beard having a bit of a run down the inside. I would expect Scott McLaughlin to follow through if he can.
So Craig Beard looking to pick up a position. Part of the Fab Four that are contesting this NZV8 championship. Three of the others are ahead of Craig Beard at the moment. Scott McLaughlin couldn't take advantage of that run on John Penny. May get a run. We got one off Eddie Bell, the birthday boy, in a cloud of dust. Obviously involved with Matt Lockwood.
The boys jostling for real estate. Didn't work out the way either of them planned.
So some damage to the right front corner of the Lockwood Holden. So that was down off the end of the back straight into the carousel sequence of corners. McLaughlin back on board, had a missed gear shift in his top 10 shootout, actually topped the second test session. He's got some confidence coming off the back of a Fujitsu Supercar test in Queensland last weekend as well. He's debuting in Clipsal next weekend.
I bumped into Shane Van Gisbergen last night and he was saying, you know, how good that test went for him, but he said something I thought was quite funny. He said the young kid only needed to do some miles to get the speed out, and I thought, Shane, you're actually not much of a kid yourself.
So, certainly not.
No, so he rates this guy. He knows that the mileage that he is doing in the NZV8 that Scott McLaughlin referring to is certainly paying dividends for over the shore. But at the moment, with Kane Scott leading and Craig Beard back in 6th place, Kane Scott will take over 2nd place in the championship.
Andy Knight, he's on the move. He's up into the 13th position, started all the way back from grid position 19. They changed an engine before the round, so they were carrying an engine penalty starting from rear grid like Eddie Bell did. There's Jason Bargwanna. Now they've made a chassis change to that car. Eddie Bell's swapped cars. Too much damage from Eddie Bell's car, and so that's another chassis for Jason Bargwanna on his return in the Repco colours here for the NZV8s.
Yeah, of course, every time you do that, you've got a lot of data which you can carry over, but it's not always exactly the same. Now here's Scott McLaughlin having to run down John Penny, and no doubt Andy Booth is just going to slot right in behind him and saying there's enough room for two, and that's exactly what will happen. Timmy Edgell back in this battle as well.